Well, hello to all my childcare leaders out there, my CEOs, those of you that work in your childcare business as well as you own your childcare business. So, today I want to talk to you guys about, and I have my notes, what a dysregulated nervous system look like, vice versa, a regulated nervous system. So, story time. A few years prior to me stepping out, open my own, I was helping a investor open and grow her childcare business, right? So before we did any enrollment, before we hired any staff, because it was her first time and she said she really didn't know what she was doing, I sat down with her and I had a nice little talk with her. I informed her that, yeah, it's two ways we can do this. You can do it the fast way and don't have a foundation, or you can let it take its time, marinate, and build a foundation so that later on in the back end, you're not putting out fires, rather trying to do it on the front end. I explained to her a childcare business is very different. It's not like you opening up a grocery store and a shoe store and somebody just comes in because they see it and they buy a product and leave. You're asking parents to trust you with their children all day. So this is a trust building business, which means that you have to probably do more than one touch point to get parents to enroll into your program. So I explained all of that to her. She said she understood, she get it, she got it. So moving forward, I began to, well, we worked together when it came to hiring staff. We worked together when it came to getting parents in. But however, I am not going to say that she made my job easy. Why? Because she was the one with the dysregulated nervous system, while I was the one with the regulated nervous system. So you may be wondering, well, what did she do to make the job so hard? So there are um, three things that happens with a dysregulated nervous system in childcare, in any field, as a matter of fact. But because I'm talking about childcare, we're going to talk about what it looks like in childcare. So the owner, this is what she was protruding into her business, and it began to show a tug of war between me and her. So doubt. She had doubt. Okay. She didn't believe that her business would grow. She didn't believe that systems was absolutely necessary. She questioned some decisions sometimes, and sometimes she didn't. But the ones that I knew what I was talking about was the ones that she should not have doubted me on. Okay? Fear. Now, this was her number one grounding issue. Her root issue was fear, because I later found out why she was pressing so hard and why she felt like she had to have a certain amount of enrollments for the month was because she took out a large loan to fund the project. Okay, I'm not against that. However, I felt like she should have did her research a little bit more to realize that, okay, if I take out this loan, I have to be aware that it's gonna probably take some time. That every month I may not get a child in every month, or I may not hit this quarter. So fear was a driving factor to where she had to be involved in every decision making. She didn't let me do my job, even though she knew I was capable and able of doing what she wanted me to do. The last thing that was happening was that the growth, it started stunting, and you have an unhealthy culture. You don't have the time to really establish what do your culture looks like for your child care center. What do the employees feel that they're a part of? And if you're not growing over a certain amount of time, then why? Because you have doubt and you have fear. And when you have these two things operating, it stops growth and you have a really bad culture in your system. I mean, a culture in your child care center. Vice versa is what a regulated nervous system looked like. And of course, that was me. And the reason why I was so regulated, Regulated nervous system is that you know without a shadow of a doubt that something is going to be. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that this center had the potential to grow. I knew I had the skills and the capacity to help her to grow her center. But I also knew that it wasn't going to happen super fast. At least I don't build fast. I like to build foundations. I want to make sure the culture is right. I want to make sure that the parents understand your mission clear. So those things, it takes time. Okay, so that goes into my first point, clarity. You are very clear on what an outcome is going to be. Now, I like to use this example that even though you have a GPS, you know the destination that you're going to get to, but sometimes you don't know exactly how the GPS is going to get you there. It may put you on one route and you may have to reroute. Same here. The GPS is clear where it wants to get you, but sometimes the route may change. So when you have a regulated nervous system and things happen within your center, it may be chaotic. It does not deter you because you are clear on your mission, you're clear on your goal, and you are clear on your culture. You are clear on pretty much the outcome of your daycare center. So when you can get clear on that, your nervous system is saying, okay, I could relax. We don't have to be in flight or flight because she's clear. She's relaxed. We don't have to try to protect her. Okay? Number 2 is knowing when to produce confidence. Knowing when to produce confidence in your decision making. That's what we call execution. Because now you're clear and now you're able to execute your clarity. Again, you don't look at it, and even if it doesn't play out the way you thought it did, what was supposed to, you don't look at it as a loss. You look at it, okay, how do I pivot from here? What do I learn from this? You never look at it as, oh my goodness, I just messed up and I'm just a horrible owner. And no, when you know how to produce confidence from a place of clarity, everything is a lesson to be learned and an idea to be birthed or to pivot in your childcare business. Last but not least, when you have a regulated nervous system, you don't have distrust. You trust your staff. You trust what you have put in place. You trust your systems. A lot of childcare owners that are working in their business lack trust. And so they don't hire help. They don't want to hire an assistant director to train them as their protege. You don't trust your staff. So that way you can't build the culture. Your culture is built on distrust and fear. And so because I was clear on her mission, I was clear on what she wants, I was executing that with confidence, and I was not swayed when things got crazy. And I defined the culture that was conducive for both parents and staff. But because she was so dysregulated and because she was acting out of fear, doubt, she disrupted the culture. She disrupted the systems, which made it hard. I had this lady center getting ready to take off. Enrollment was picking up. We had a good staff. Everything was working out. She just had to give it time. Okay, so that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, decide, how do you want to operate in your childcare business? Do you want to have a regulated or dysregulated nervous system? Do you want to act from abundance or from scarcity? I'm having a hard time talking today. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, have a good one. Be good to yourself and be great to your employees, okay? Have a great day.